I started looking for a group of people to hang out with that had the same values as the ones that I was developing, and I couldn't find them. So I would go to church on Sunday and I just could not relate to the people, because to me they were a little bit weird and they just weren't doing anything fun. So for anyone that's watching, we kind of created a turnkey process to get a CityFam started. And for those that don't know, so CityFam isn't faith-based, and the idea really just kind of came from a personal need. So I gave my heart to the Lord. I started, I cut off. I had a really active social life. So I was 27 years old when I became a Christian. I was a nightclub promoter. I was out 4 or 5 nights a week in the bars, in the clubs, drinking, girls, drugs. Like, it was a crazy lifestyle. I met Jesus. I was like, okay, suddenly aware that he was real and he was who he said he was. And I had to make some radical changes. So I cut off all my friends. I quit promoting. And I started going to church on Sunday, and I got lonely very quickly. Now, I always tell people I would have done what everybody else did if God had not told me about this girl, about waiting for my soulmate, that he would bring her to me. I would have dated out of loneliness like everybody else. But I didn't do that because of it. I was waiting for him, and I didn't think it would be long, and I thought it would be maybe a week or two or maybe a month. And it turned into 6 years of me waiting. And during that time, I got extremely lonely. I started looking for a group of people to hang out with that had the same values as the ones that I was developing, and I couldn't find them. So I would go to church on Sunday and I just could not relate to the people, because to me they were a little bit weird and they just weren't doing anything fun on the weekends, at least anything that I considered fun. And I was like, I couldn't find them out there. I went to I looked everywhere that I could think of, and I just couldn't find them. So eventually I just gave up, and I just went to the movies every weekend for about 6 years. And I tried my best to avoid trouble. And I would, every 3 months or so, I would get so burnt out, so pent up with energy that I wanted to be around people. I would go to the bar and I would meet up with some of my old friends, and I would drink too much, or I would do something else that I regretted. And then the next day I'd feel guilty and I'd stay in for another 3 months. And that pattern continued for 6 years until eventually I had the idea for CityFam, where I thought, hey, I can make a difference from the inside. I started to see my friends' lives falling apart. My old friends' lives were starting to fall apart from all the bad decisions. And I thought, man, I can help them. I can't get them to come to, 12-step or church, or I can't get them to come over to these places where they probably need to be, but I can go to them. And I thought, you know what, I can give myself a social life, and I can also help them, because I can help them from the inside. And that was really where the idea of CityFam came from. I backslid, like I said, and I kind of spiraled down for a few years, but I recreated it. The idea came back to me when I rededicated, and and now it's this movement, and it's really just about becoming the best version of yourself. It's not the Jesus group. It's not the sober group. There's a lot of people that drink in it. There's people that have sex in it. I feel like, for me, I'm sober and I'm sex free. I am drinking some kratom right now, just to be completely transparent with all of you guys. So occasionally I'll have kratom, which is this leaf from Southeast Asia. It's in the coffee family, but it kind of relaxes you. And but I've been sober for 6 years, and I've been abstinent basically for 6 years, and those are just selfish decisions. For me, not everybody in CityFam is either. But it is about becoming the best version of yourself and figuring out what is preventing you from doing that. So if alcohol or alcohol is preventing you from becoming the best version of yourself, then let's take a look at that. Let's get it out of the way. Some people it's not. I have a lot of friends that can drink in moderation, and God bless them. I'm just not one of them. And if it's sex, if that's standing in the way, let's look at that. I believe if you're having sex outside of marriage, that there's a pretty good chance that it is standing in the way of you becoming the best version of yourself, because it could be preventing you from finding the right person. You could be with the wrong person. If you're sure you're with the right person, then just get married, right? It's that simple. So but yeah, that's what CityFam is. And like I said, we do a lot of fun stuff. We do a lot of social events. We're always doing something. The reason I'm ending this call is we're actually going to go watch an outdoor movie tonight in Fells Point as Wonder Woman's playing. We're going to go pull up some lawn chairs and watch it. And we do a lot of volunteering together. And the reason that we do that is because when I started volunteering through my church, I really started to like myself again. And when I see people do it, when they get their eyes off themselves, they become a better version of themselves because they start becoming part of a solution instead of part of a problem. And you'll see people, be able to beat addictions, and just they'll drop their shitty boyfriend or their girlfriend, because they're not thirsty and they have good community and healthy relationships. And just you see amazing things happen. So we have a turnkey system for helping people get these things started. And it really starts with an 8-week small group. So if you're watching this and you're like, hey, I'd like to learn more about CityFam, message me, or actually you can just go to the CityFam website. There's a button there that says start a chapter. And what we'll do is we'll send you an 8-week curriculum where you're going to, and you don't have to use this curriculum. Let me say that up front, but we developed a curriculum based off the book, Why Waiting Works, where you'll meet for 8 weeks in a house, probably on a Friday or Saturday night, and you'll talk about the book and you'll wrestle with some of these ideas. So, and you may agree and you may not agree, and that's okay. Listen, I've invited people to the small groups that don't agree with me, and I'm like, listen, disagree. We want your perspective. It's okay. But I think that when you get people in healthy community, that's what we're here for. Like we were meant to genuinely connect with each other, and sometimes these appetites, especially sexual appetites, get in the way of that because I don't know how many relationships I burned because I didn't know how to pump the brakes when I got around. When a woman showed me attention, and I took it, and I burnt relationships, and then eventually I didn't have healthy community. I didn't have good friends because it's anti-community. Sex without commitment is anti-community. So anyway, I'm rambling a little bit. Check out cityfam.com.
Thank you so much for watching my video on YouTube. I wanted to take a moment here at the end to tell you about something that is not only important to me, it's important to the world. Recently, I wrote a book entitled Why Waiting Works: How Fast Sex Prevents Us from Finding True Love and Long-Term Happiness. It has an average 5-star review on Amazon, and it's written so practically that even readers that didn't agree with my stance on waiting have told me it caused them to reevaluate their lives. So if you or anyone you know is single, or if you or anyone you know is in a physical relationship and not married, I am imploring you to pick up a copy of my book. It literally will take you a maximum of 4 hours to read it and has the potential to change the course of your life. It's one thing to do something that you don't completely understand. It's a whole different thing to do something when you know exactly why you're doing it. And that's what my book is really doing for people. So I just want to thank you in advance. Again, this is something that's important to me, but it's even more important for the rest of the world. And I could really use your help to get the message out. Thank you.